Right now I am pulling basil plants because they're kind of wilty and dying. And also they're kind of in the way. Oh man, this is hard.
This is really opening up some space here, which is great because we have some herbs that were kind of getting choked out by all those other plants. And now that the basil is gone, I think these are going to do really well. We can also see all the jalapenos that need to be harvested from here.
This bed is really fun to weed in because as you're just pulling up some of the weeds, man, the smell of these herbs is just absolutely amazing. It's really good.
So Nico's going to help with the same thing over here. We have some plants that are just dead. We have some basil here that's going to seed. We're going to remove a lot of those plants and also the borage over there. So that's what Nico's going to be helping with. You may have seen a lot of our harvest videos, and we really enjoy harvesting, and I really enjoy making harvest videos. However, not every day is like that here in our homestead. We actually spend a lot of time getting work done in the garden, and today is one of those days. We're calling this our fall garden cleanup. As the seasons are shifting, there are a lot of plants that are dead, are just not looking their best, or maybe they have disease and they need to be pulled out. So that is what we were working on today. Nico had to call in reinforcements because that one was too big and too difficult for Nico. So Gabriel to the rescue.
Oh, yeah, I can't see.
Good job. We have the whole family here working together and doing as much as we can. We are giving ourselves 3 hours to get everything done so that we can enjoy the rest of our day doing other things. So I'm gonna go around and show you what different people are working on as we are getting our garden cleaned up for the fall season.
I've been taking out some of these stalks from the sunflowers. You can see here they get massively big. And so this one I just pulled out a few minutes ago here, pretty big. Almost feels like a tree. But I just want to clean up this whole area over here. This area was very much like a jungle, and they're all kind of just falling over each other, falling onto the coop, falling onto some of the plants. So I've just been cleaning this up. This one I'm going to yank out here too, and just, there we go. You can kind of see here that the roots go down quite deep. So just want to save some of this dirt here at the end and harvest a few more of these sunflowers here, as they're definitely done. You can see there. Just want to get them before the birds get them.
Nico is going to be feeding the chickens one of the sunflowers that Glenn just harvested. And even if we just give it to them like that, they will do a great job just pecking at it and making sure every single seed is gone. Wow. I don't know how this happened because we just harvested zucchini a couple of days ago, but this one is huge. That is insane. So as you can see, this area, this zucchini area here has a lot of plants that are dead. It has some leaves that are very diseased. So I need the boys to remove some of those dead plants. Yep, you got that one, Nico. That's good. So that's more borage that is dead. And it just needs to go. And then we also have some zucchini plants over there that are dead. And so Nico and I are going to work on this over here, actually, removing some of the dead plants, harvesting the things that we see, and then also pruning what we need to prune. I am getting rid of a lot of these leaves that have powdery mildew or that are dead. This plant is still producing. We have squash that we have zucchini that's still growing here. So I don't want to remove the plant yet. Okay, there's more over here. Do you see? I think you can remove this whole plant, Nico. Do you see it? Yeah. Yep, careful. Don't just grab the leaves, not the entire plant.
I did not know that was an entire plant.
Well, then let it go. Then. Let it go and just grab a little bit at a time. We are finding a lot of zucchini over here as we are pruning. So I found a really fat one. I've never seen one like this before. It's kind of almost round, which is kind of funny. But this is not even the biggest. We have some that are super huge in this area right here. So this is really good that we're cleaning up this area. We are removing a lot of the dead and diseased leaves because it's helping us see everything that is there.
This thing? Yep, right now.
Yeah, that whole plant, yes.
Yes. My job! Aha!
So the more I'm pruning, the more zucchini that get revealed. So this is exciting. We're going to be able to harvest a whole bunch today. I didn't even really know we had any zucchini that were ready to harvest today. So this is a very nice surprise. After we removed a lot of these dead leaves, we were able to find lots of zucchini in this patch. So this is very exciting. We are harvesting some big zucchinis in this area. So we're gonna go ahead and harvest all the zucchini that we can from this zucchini patch. So this is the giant one that I found. Look at this. Unbelievable. So after cleaning up all those diseased leaves, we were able to harvest a lot of zucchini, but we still have some more zucchini that we're going to be harvesting in the next few days. So there's still at least 7 more zucchini in this patch that are still small yet, and then some more female flowers for the future. So I'd say this was a really good success. I'm so glad we did this. We were able to find lots of zucchini to harvest, and I think it's going to help these plants continue to grow and thrive for the next few weeks. We have decided to remove these cucumber plants. There might be some cucumbers that we can harvest from here, but then these plants just need to go. there are more basil plants over here in this row with the tomatoes that need to go. We have a couple of basil plants that are okay, so we're going to let those continue to grow, but we need to remove these ones here. Good job, Nico. We can already see some major progress here with the cucumber plants being removed. This is my newer zucchini patch, but I am quite sad because I did not stay on top of pruning to prevent some of the powdery mildew, and now these plants are covered in powdery mildew. So what I need to do is, like I did on the other bed on the other side of the garden, and just prune a whole bunch. I think I have some zucchini in this area also that are ready to harvest, but that's what I'm gonna have to do because the powdery mildew has taken over. This is a lot of pruning. Sometimes I feel like I can't win with this powdery mildew situation, but that's how it is with a garden. There's always something, right? Things are looking a lot better over here after all that pruning. And I also found a few zucchinis that we can harvest, so that's exciting. This area back here with our volunteer tomatoes has become so wild. Some of this stuff just needs to go. So Glenn is removing some of these plants. These tomato plants are not the ones that we trellised, so they definitely need to go. And really this whole area back here needs to be managed a little bit better. So that's what Glenn is working on right now, attempting to get this patch over here under control. Wow, I am very pleased with this area. This looks really good, and it just opens up a lot of room over here, and it just makes me think about next year and what we could do with space. We have our beds over here, and we already have 1, 2, 4 beds on this side of the garden, and they're pretty long beds. And I think that's what we're going to do over there on that side as well. Where we see that raised bed, I think we're going to move that, and we're going to make a long in-ground bed, just like the ones over here. And that's going to give us a lot of space. Now that this area is a little bit more managed, they are able to get back there and harvest, which is great. So I think they're going to get a ton of tomatoes from that area over there. And this is what used to be the cucumber trellis, and now we can actually see all those carrots and beets that are growing, that were growing at the base. And I'm guessing in a couple more weeks we'll be able to harvest those. Wow, looks so much better over here. It's actually a lot of space back here, but it looked so crowded because we had all those sunflowers up against the wall over here, and they just got so huge. The rest of these butternut squash should be ready to harvest in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. We were able to get a lot done today. Unfortunately, it always feels like it's not enough. And I'm kind of feeling that right now. I'm kind of feeling like, oh, but there's more, and we could be doing this, and I need to prune the tomato plants, and there's so much to harvest right now. But one of the things that we also need to learn to do is just to sometimes just stop and know that we did the best that we can, that we worked really hard. It's been about 3 hours since we started this morning. We all worked really hard. We are all exhausted, and it is very hot now. And sometimes, this is a lesson I'm learning, I just gotta learn to stop. Find a place and stop. And even if I'm not done, it's okay. It's not going anywhere. I can continue doing this another day. I will probably harvest later. We have a lot of green beans that are ready to harvest, and we need them for dinner. So I will probably come later in the afternoon and do that. I need to go inside and cool down. The rest of my family needs to go inside and cool down and get ready for lunch. This was just a little glimpse of what most of our weekends look like, just doing some work in the garden. And we appreciate the help that we get from the boys. They don't always help us out here. Sometimes it's just Glenn and I here. But when the boys do help us, we appreciate it very much. And just in case you're wondering, they are not always excited about working in the garden, but it is something that we do together as a family. It is something that we are trying to show them that is important, that is an important part of our life. And sometimes, whether they like it or not, they are out here helping us. And we appreciate it. Remember that your work in the garden will never be done. You will never feel like it's enough. But that's okay. We can always come back to it later, and we can also learn to just take breaks and stop, and even if it's not perfect like how we want it to be. So certainly our garden right now is not perfect. It is not cleaned up like I envisioned it to be cleaned up, but I am giving myself permission and my family permission to be done, because this was just a lot of work. I hope you enjoyed this episode today, and I will see you next time.